Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I also rise to take part in the short duration discussion brought by George B. Lendor under Rule 50 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business regarding the prevailing safety and security of the people in the state. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I took part in this important subject because I'm very much concerned for the society. And when we look today, crime rate is increasing day by day. Earlier we see crime took place within the city. But these days you'll see crime rate is also increasing drastically even to the rural areas. Why? Because young boys are into drugs, and when they are into drugs, they started stealing, they started looting, and even threaten their parents, their brothers, their loved ones. And when they don't get things to steal from their own house, they form a group of 4 or 5 boys and started to loot people who walks on the streets. Because I have experience in one of the incidents, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Last 2 months, a group of 4 to 5 boys attempt to rob one house at Daikor under my constituency. And the moment they entered that house, the owner of the house sent an alarm that someone entered their house in the middle of the night. And immediately the local Drobashnang, along with the youth, got hold of all these 4 boys. And when they took these boys to the nearby police station, that is the Modernization police station, the police on duty replied back that there's no room for these boys. We have very empty space. So if that is the case, who will take the responsibility? During the past 1 month, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, it is the first of its kind that one of the village under my constituency, that is Maupanthi, a group of 10 boys covered with masks, they entered to that particular house, belongs to Kong, we call her Big Harmoplang, and forcefully they took out the daggers and asked her, you take out what you have. And she's alone with her children. They snatched away from her around 40,000, which she have just sold her vegetables in the market. They informed me and I took note. And I asked them, you immediately file an FIR. And they replied back, we are scared to file an FIR because police will harass us, they will call us to the police station. So this kind of fear in the mind. I should say that the police department should conduct a different kind of awareness program, especially in the rural areas, to ensure that they should come closer to the men in uniform. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I would like to inform this August House. It is very sad we have to discuss. This is the only platform that we need to discuss. The Madanriting police station covers right up to the Mawrengkeneng constituency. It covers the entire stretch of Maukenro, and it covers the entire stretch of my constituency on the Nongkrem. Last incidents which took place at Maukenro constituency, there's a public lynching a year back. The family informed, the headman of that nearby village informed the police station that please send forces immediately to take stock of the situation. But sad to say, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, they informed this person that we have no vehicle. Very sad. So I inquired from the OC in charge, why don't you rush to this place immediately? They even informed me. And he told me, sir, we have only one vehicle, and this also vehicle in a pathetic condition. And this gypsy, it's going towards Mawrengkeneng. I asked him, you arrange another vehicle? He said, we have no vehicle. May I bring to the notice of the Honorable Minister in charge home, through you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, to kindly look into these problems faced by the police stations, that to provide more vehicles, because with one vehicle for the 3 constituencies it covers, it is not possible for them to take action. So I request the Home Department to kindly take note of this important point. And Deputy Speaker, sir, we need more government rehabilitation center, because there are families who are on the fort. Because problem is they have to put those addicted boys to the rehab center runs by the different organization, and it becomes very expensive. So this is also another point that I would like to urge upon the Honorable Home Minister to kindly look into. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, we have seen the Wi-Fi report during this ongoing session. I would not like to say much on this, but I request that let us constitute an independent inquiry on the Maulai incidents. With these few words, I resume my seat. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, for allowing me to take part in this short duration discussion brought by tabled by George P. Lengdo, MLA of Umroi, under the Rule 50 of the Rule of Procedure and Conduct of Business regarding the prevailing safety and security of the people in the state.
Please be brief.
At the very outset, sir, I would like to congratulate and thank the District Police of West Jaintia Hills District, who in the past few days past few weeks and months, have able to nab many drug suppliers who were trying to pass through the district and try to circulate this drug substance to different parts of the state. But still, sir, after their continuous effort, there are still who able to pass through and has put our town in great risk, and especially Joai being near to the border where these substances are coming through is very vulnerable. So in this regard, sir, I would like to request the government, especially the Home Department, to set up CCTV cameras in Joai town in order to help the police to nab these drug peddlers and also discourage the people who are trying to do their antisocial activities, sir. And like I said, sir, there are many who able to pass through. And because of this, and after the continuous effort from the police and other departments from the government, there are many youth who have become the victim of this drug addict, sir. And it's very sad to see, sir, that most of the family members are unable to put their children in this correctional institute or to rehabilitate them, sir. So because of this, sir, I request the government to please consider to set up the rehabilitation center in West Giant Hill district, as there are very few as of now, sir. And the most important thing, sir, that in the last few days, sir, the people of West Giant Hill district are in a state of panic, sir, because of the escape of those 6 convicts, and especially the people of Mimintadu village, where that jail or prison is situated, sir. So, and this is not the first time, sir. In the past also, there are many instances that this prisoner are able to escape. So because of this, sir, I request the Home Department to please to increase the security and also to find out that why that these prisoners are able to escape from time to time, sir. So I'll request the government to please take serious note on this to get the confidence of those people living near that area, sir. With this few submissions, sir, I resume my seat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Please be brief in your
Mr. Deputy
statement.
Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to participate in this short duration discussion. See, first and foremost, with regards to the safety of our citizens in the state, their protection, as all of us, we all know, has been enshrined in Article 21 of the Constitution, protection of life and personal liberty. At the same time, sir, a state is duty bound, as laid down in the principle of Paris Pasha, to look into situations pertaining to the safety and security of our citizens in the state. Throughout the discussions, many have raised the issues of drugs, POXO cases, and safety of citizens. But in my case, sir, there's just a few points I would like to indicate here. With regards to the abuse of drugs. So we do not know, I do not know the modus operandi of people circulating the drugs in our state. But there's one thing for certain, these particular products, it begets violence. Violence usually is the output of such a practice. And at the same time, it destroys an entire generation. We have seen in the past, many countries, many states, a circulation of drugs usually tends to corrupt our youths and it spoils entire generation. So what happens if the generation of today, our youths of today, are abused by this particular substance? Think of it, after 40, 50 years, these particular youths will grow up to be old men like us. and all around us. If they are the products of drug abuse, what happens to the state? There's a particular concern which I think the state must address to. And secondly, sir, with regards to the safety and security of the state, I would like to applaud the police department, especially the home, for taking necessary steps for its upgradation in many fields in our state, especially with the infrastructure. Though we have seen that infrastructures have increased, but I request the government if they can kindly increase financial aspect with regards to procuring of the required equipments to our police department personnel. As we have seen in the report recently, as stated by our member just now, there's one particular report from there with regards to the equipments of the police personnel. So I would like to request the government if they can also create a special team to tackle situations like in the urban cities. Yes, I personally feel that the increased strength of our police in the state is required. And for this, a financial aspect is also required to be taken into consideration, because without finance, it's difficult for our police to do what they are taught to. Our police teams in a state, they have done a great deal in circumventing and tackling militancy, as well as anti-social elements, which are going on about in our state for many years. And with regards to this, sir, I feel the government, from the finance point of view, they should increase more infrastructures, especially in the rural areas. Crime rate has increased in different spheres, and I feel that increasing on infrastructure and especially providing more aid to our police personnel, especially in the rural areas, sir. I think so when you travel, you'll see that our police barracks, their infrastructure are not up to the mark. Women personnel is also required. I'll take an issue of Sora Police Station or Sora Civil Subdivision. We have a limited personnel posted in entire subdivision, especially in Majai, an area where there's a regular business going on. The amount of police personnel, as per the report I got yesterday, were only 6. So I feel government should take more action in providing more police personnel, especially in the rural areas as well. This is a requirement, I feel. And with regards to the MRSSA, recently our Honorable Chief Minister has opened an online portal and has stated that in only 7 localities the portal has been opened. And I feel that from the government's point of view should try to expand this in the whole state. Yes, I understand it's just a phase 1, but taking into consideration that our entire state welcomes tourists every year. And recently there was a case in Sora. If one youth was apparently kidnapped from Momlo by some tourists coming on the Assam vehicle. But because of the grace of God, he was able to escape. So I think these are the issues. Now when we talk about the security, we should also take into consideration that people entering our state are closely monitored. That's one of the issues I'm talking about. And also with regards of cyber stalking and bullying and harassment. So these days, many of our youths, especially girls and women, they are being harassed and stalked. And I feel like I thank the government for taking initiatives in order to tackle these kind of problems. And one more suggestion, sir, with regards to improvement the security of the state. is by helping and creating more jobs, which will entitle our youths in the state to participate much better. Having more jobs, especially in the Home Department, the Police Department, also paves the way for our youths to stay away from any unwanted activities and participate in helping our citizens as well as the localities in each police station. And I feel the government also should also have some sort of program with civic societies, localities, headmen, so on and so on, in order to sensitize them about the situations which are antisocial in our areas. And there's one more thing, Honorable Member had already spoken up with installation of CCTV cameras. I also appreciate the government's initiative to do that because it is a need for the time in this particular scenario we are facing. And lastly, sir, my suggestion and to the government is to help our youths who are arrested and caught in order to sensitize them to stop doing these activities which are antisocial to the society. See, the reason because we've seen many cases. A petty crime happens, a person is caught, a youth is caught, but because of certain activities in the local thana or in the PS, once the person leaves there, he tends to be more violent or more antisocial.
Honorable Member, please wind up.
Just 1 minute, sir. So I feel the government of today and maybe the next and so on and so forth should have a program in order to sensitize our youths so that they can come up with a program to help them to be aware of the surroundings as well as help society. So with these few words, I would like to resume my seat. Thank you.
Thank you.